and with the same thing, I'm hitting on the broadcast button over the Zoom in 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we are online. Yogendra, you can take a lead.
Okay. Uh, uh, I start introduction. I introduce my speaker. Today's speaker's talk. Uh, Kundanalal sir is the founder and president of VT Research Foundation. VT means basically VT is a basically Sanskrit word which means intelligent. VT has not only opened India first AI innovation exchange for AI focused incubation, standardization, delivery, and learning education in Delhi, but also trained hundreds of industry professionals on AI and emerging technologies such as IoT, 5G, blockchain, RPA, cloud computing, etc. for improving their employment. Kundan Lal sir basically brings over 25 years of industry experience in various IT related senior leadership roles. He has been a vice president with Capgemini India, heading CSD and cloud AD deliveries for continental Europe. He has also worked as a vice president R&D and migration factory in Sintel. Kundanlal sir has done in master in electrical and electronics engineering from Birla Institute of Technology with specialization in artificial intelligence. Thank you, sir. Kundanlal sir, you started your talk, please.
Wonderful, thank you, and good afternoon, everybody. So I hope if everybody is able to hear me.
Sure,
Yeah?
sir, sure.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, absolutely, wonderful. So let me, right, I mean, he pointed out that Viti is a Sanskrit word, it means intelligence. And very aptly, we have got another organization, we call it Ati Viti. And when you add Ati to Viti, it becomes super intelligence. So if you look at the world, all the countries and corporations who are investing heavily into artificial intelligence space, they are basically trying to reach out to artificial super intelligence. That's the goal in artificial intelligence world. Okay, and if you look at my slide on the background, if you look down below, you will see this is we, the Homo sapiens, and there is a guy coming up very fast on the background, and we call it artificial superintelligence. This is the guy which everybody is trying to vie for. But before we reach there, we will be crossing few hurdles, and that one hurdle is artificial general intelligence, which will be equal to us, the humans, right? That is the general intelligence. The world we are living in is artificial narrow intelligence world. So I'll delve deeper into it. What does it mean? The ANI, AGI, and ASI. Okay, so we'll delve deeper into it. As aptly pointed out, we call it AI for all. That's our focus in Viti Foundation or Viti Research Foundation. Skill development is very, very important for India, and that is where we intervene. We have been designing a lot of AI courses in multiple areas, from mathematical statistical foundation to deep learning platforms. Okay, and also we are doing a lot of projects, and some of the projects which we are doing have got a large societal impact and public benefit involved. So that is the focus of Viti Foundation, Viti Research Foundation. It's a Section 8 non-profit organization which I head at this point of time. So let's go to a little deeper into that whole game, right? You must be hearing about AI and a lot of fear factor around AI. The prediction is when we achieve artificial super intelligence, the humans will be here on the left-hand side, right? We will be extinct. So ASI will ensure that we go extinct. And listen, some of the guys who are professionally very, very apt, well known, like on the corner, if you look at the guy is Elon Musk, you must be knowing him. He heads Tesla, SpaceX, Solar City and all. And a new company also, which they call it Neuralink. Okay, so Elon Musk. And he came out and said that we are summoning the demon. That was his statement. अगर हिंदी में बोलूं तो इसका मतलब होता है कि हम राक्षस बुला रहे हैं और जब राक्षस आता है तो क्या करता है हमें खा जाता है. That is what he is trying to tell us, that we are summoning the demon. Okay, that was Elon Musk. The guy on the left hand side of the screen, down below, you will see Stephen Hawking. Now Stephen Hawking, okay, he's a very well known physicist. He's no more now. Okay, an astrophysicist actually. He said the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race. So that is the one possibility he is talking about, that it may spell the end of human race. But that's a warning, guys. Okay. Nick Bostrom, and you can actually go ahead and download his book, Super Intelligence. And he said, Disneyland without children. So AI will bring a lot of technology, a lot of collaterals. The world will be awesome. It will be a wonderful world. We'll be interacting in 3 dimensions and whatnot. Okay. But the children will be not there. So it will be a Disneyland. A lot of fun. But children, and children means whom? We, the humans. We will be not there. That is what he is saying, Nick Bostrom. James Barat, he went one step ahead and he said, what we needed to do on this earth, we have done it. AI is our final invention. The artificial intelligence and the end of human race. He said the full artificial intelligence, or this final invention, once AI reaches to the level of ASI, that will be the end of the human era. Okay. But I go with Werner Winge a lot more. The physical extinction of human race is one possibility. It is a possibility. And that is how we should take it. And we should take all other steps to ensure that we really don't go extinct. But this is the world. This is the professionals who are talking about it. And we should be aware of this. Okay. So you guys are still there? Hello? Listening to me, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Wonderful.
yes.
Wonderful.
Yes, sir.
So if you look at AI is all around us at this point of time. The way we travel, the way we do business, the way we socialize, the way we do politics, the way we shop. So everything, you are aware or you're not aware, you are interacting with AI on a daily basis now. So if you are using an Apple phone, you are talking to Siri. You are using an Android phone, you are talking to Google Assistant. You are using Google Maps, that is AI based now. You go to Netflix and watch movies. The recommendation engine is based on AI. It knows you. It knows what you watch. You watch on YouTube. AI is there. He knows what you are watching. And when you walk into YouTube or Netflix next time, it gives you recommendation of the movie you need to watch or the programs you need to watch on, the videos you need to watch on YouTube. This is AI. They are doing a radical personalization. They know you exactly what you are looking at. They know you from multiple perspectives, from the Google search you are making, the YouTube search you are making, Netflix search you are making, Amazon search you are making. Everything is being collated and they know about you. They are making a personality out of you. They are doing a radical personalization of you. They know you. Let me give you an example. This radical personalization, the way AI is going to know you, the level it will reach to. Let me give you one example. And you go on Amazon, right? Amazon knows you very well. They know what you buy, what time you buy, when do you buy, what price range you buy. They know everything about you. The current model of Amazon, and so much they are knowing about you now, that the current model of Amazon is shop and ship. So you go to Amazon, you like a product, you buy it, right? And Amazon ships you at your home. Either you make a payment there or you make a payment at house, but you are doing that, right? We call it shop and ship. Now Amazon knows so much about you and leveraging AI, okay? They plan to change the model to ship and shop. So instead of shop and ship, they will actually one fine morning you'll open your door and you'll find a big Amazon box there, and it will have all the it may be a laptop, it may be a mobile phone, it may be a milk for you, or a dozen of an egg, whatever. So they know exactly what you require, and that box will be full with that. You'll take out the things which you require and leave the rest out there. The Amazon guy will come and take away the box. They will bill you for it. Okay. So now they know what you require and they will be sending it. That is the predictive analytics AI is bringing on the table. So the world will change from shop to ship to sip and shop. Okay. The way we do business, the way we travel. Let me give you an example. Like AI, when you make a half search on Google and or you are talking to Alexa, it is actually getting filtered out. So one fine gentleman who was part of my team, and one day he was talking about Nepal. He had got an Alexa in his bedroom. Next morning, he started receiving a lot of emails coming from different travel companies about a package to Nepal, and he was amazed. So these devices like Alexa and all, actually they are listening you. Google Assistant and all, they are listening you. Though there is a wake-up call, like, hi Alexa, how are you? And then it wakes up. And then you can ask a question or a music you want to set it up. That's a stand which Amazon takes. But actually they are listening to you. Okay. So, and they know what to be done to about. The way we socialize, or you go on Facebook, you put up a photograph, AI knows who you are. And when you start tagging you, he knows who is your wife, who is your colleague, who is your friend, who is your parents. They know everybody, and the names will start popping up. They recognize them, and the names start popping up. This is AI, guys. Okay. So the way we socialize, it's also being dominated by AI. What I'm trying to tell you here is that AI is all around you. You believe it or not believe it. You know that or not. Okay. So you need to wake up to the fact that AI is there. We are living in a world of artificial narrow intelligence, but it is there. And these are some of the trends. You look at this prediction, they are the high transition, which is going to provide us the highest return or transformation. They're all AI-based technology, like facial recognition, edge computing, open source framework, predictive maintenance, medical imaging and diagnostics. They are the area where they are most transformation will be coming in. Okay, and we are working on all of those areas. We do have the product lines and projects we are doing into this all, either be predictive analytics or preventive maintenance, or on computer vision or pattern recognition, foresight analysis. All areas are coming up, and this is where AI is, and AI trends are there. So if you look at this Gartner hype cycle, the technologies which is there, which are moving into the plateau, the speech recognition, the voice-based interaction is the most important, which is there. It has NLP or your robotics or your virtual assistants. They are there. They are being utilized by every industry. If you look at the prediction is that it will be a $23 to $25 billion industry in coming 3-4 years by 2025. Okay, that's the revenue size we are talking about. So the way we look at it is that all the linear applications, or you say the program-based applications, which we humans have written, they will get replaced by AI-based application in coming decades. Okay, this is how the world is moving very fast towards AI. That is the AI progression we are talking about. That was the Gartner hype cycle. So before I go forward, let me try to define AI. I hope I'm going not very fast. Is
Yes,
it okay
sir.
with you guys?
Yeah, it's okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Wonderful, wonderful. So if you go on Google and do an AI search, you will see a lot of words come to you in front of you. Neural networks, planning, robotics, machine learning, natural language processing, ontology, perception, cognitive systems. They are all AI world, guys. Okay, this is all AI. AI is a very large word. That means a technology which is equal to us. That is artificial intelligence, okay, which passes the Turing test. But this is all the technologies which actually makes AI happen, okay. So this is how we define AI. These all words actually at this point of time define AI. But if you look at AI, you can broadly categorize them into two factors. AI, where we humans are still making the decision, and AI, where we are not making the decision, AI is making the decision. The humans are not in the loop. Okay, now let us take the where we are making the decision still. There are two types. One is hardwired or specific systems. We call them assisted intelligence. And the second one is adaptive systems, which is an augmented intelligence. Let me try to give an example to make you understand what it means. So AI, which doesn't learn. So once we have taught it and brought on the picture, the forum, and that doesn't learn anymore, that is, we call them assisted intelligence. And something which continuously evolves, we call them adaptive systems or augmented intelligence. Okay, so like if you take a flight from Bombay to New York, that's a 14-hour flight. As soon as the flight goes up, the pilot actually puts it in autopilot mode, comes out and start having coffee, start talking to the passengers around, right? Now the autopilot is basically, and at this point of time, more of an assisted intelligence. It's an AI, and it has been simulated environment. It has been taught to fly the plane. It knows how to fly the plane. Now imagine a case where an UFO comes in front of you. You know a UFO, right? The unidentified flying object. Suddenly it comes in the front of the flight. So what this assisted intelligence and autopilot will do? It will immediately raise an alarm, and the pilot will rush in. He will handle the situation and again put on the autopilot mode, whatever the human does, I mean the pilot does, he will put it again autopilot mode, and he come out for the coffee. But when the alarm was raised by the autopilot, and when human took control, after that AI has not learned anything. That's an assisted intelligence. Next time another UFO comes in, again he will raise an alarm. Again the pilot has to go in, handle the situation, and come out. Again put the autopilot on. But if that is replaced by an augmented or adaptive system, AI will be watching pilot what he's doing. Okay, so when he handles the situation, he brings the flight down or returns back or whatever evasive actions he takes. AI will be watching him and looking at it and learning from those human actions. Okay, he will be evolving himself continuously. So next time the UFO is there, an augmented intelligence will tackle the situation. Okay, it will know how to handle the situation. That is the augmented intelligence. Let's go on the other side where we humans are not in the loop. So there are two kinds, the hardwired ones, which is automation. So you go to a factory like Volkswagen factory, completely automated. The codes have been written by us. We humans have written it. The robotic arms are doing certain things on the assembly line. So one robotic arm comes in, puts the door on the car. Another one comes the deck on the car. Third one puts and the assembly line is moving. And these robotic arms are doing their specific jobs. So finally, they paint it and the car is ready to come out, right? Now this is something, an industrial automation which we are aware of, right? So this is no human intervention is required. We have written the code and it does it. But mind it, guys, this is not intelligence. This is not AI. This is an automation. Okay, it's a linear automation. But as soon as you go down, you will find out on adaptive system, this is autonomous intelligence. So what is an autonomous intelligence? Anybody can give me an example? Anybody? Any autonomous intelligence example? Hello?
Self-driving car.
Absolutely. So absolutely fine. That is an autonomous vehicle. Okay. Autonomous vehicle is an autonomous intelligence. It has got LIDAR. It has got the ultraviolet radars to look at the potholes. It has got the camera. So he's aware of his surrounding and it is driving. It doesn't need human intervention. Okay. And it is learning. So the companies like Google, companies like a lot of other companies, they have been driving these cars like Uber and all. They have been driving these cars and these cars are learning. Actually, recently, a lady was killed, a cyclist was killed by an autonomous vehicle in autonomous car in US, and there was a lot of hue and cry that whom should be blamed, there's no human driver, so whom we are. So it generates a lot of ethical issues also about the good AI and bad AI. So let me give you an example. And by the way, the prediction is by 2030, we humans will be not given license to drive the cars. AI or autonomous vehicle or autonomous intelligence will be driving these vehicles across the globe. Okay, that is the prediction. We will be not getting license. And the reason is very, very clear that currently, if you look at 99.6% death which occur on the streets is due to human error. It is not due to vehicular fault. So AI will be much more safer. Okay, so it will reduce the accidents, the death on the streets. And that is where AI or autonomous vehicles are touted to be the next generation vehicles, which is there, which is coming in very, very fast. And actually, from IIEEE Research Foundation, we are also working on this technology on autonomous vehicles with one of the universities there in Gurgaon, near Gurgaon. And the plan is to define or design a new vehicle which can drive on the Indian streets. So on US streets, these vehicles are basically taught a defensive driving, because people doesn't walk on the highways and the streets there in the US when these vehicles are driving. So they are taught a defensive driving. But in India, everything is on the streets, right? Gaw Mata bhi road pe hai, Redi wala bhi road pe hai. So we have to train a new kind of an AI who can drive a vehicle in India. We call it a-hole probabilistic. So that is a deterministic to train a probabilistic driving. So Gai Mata hai, to bhi bagal se wo gaadi nikal sake, right? That is an aggressive driving. So that is what the way we drive, the Indians drive, and we have to teach AI also. So a lot of work is happening into this space, but this is an autonomous intelligence. So I think I have been able to define for you guys. Let's go to the next stage. Okay. You know, so I was talking about the ANI. So what is ANI? Narrow intelligence. If you look at the world today, this is the more, we don't call it AI, we call it more of a machine learning world. Okay, there are neural networks, there are algorithms which are being taught certain things, and it does those things better than human beings, probably with more accuracy than us. So predictive analytics done by AI for a heart failure. Okay, the accuracy of that was more than a human doctor. So human doctor, and the reason is there. Reasons are very clear. A human doctor looks at the multiple, doesn't look at multiple parameters. It looks at, probably if you go and ask a doctor that can you predict what will be how my heart will fail, and what is the percentage of that. He will look at your cholesterol levels, it will look at your diabetes or sugar level, it will look at other incidences, your family history. That's limit, right? But AI can go beyond it. It can do multiple data crunching. Okay, not only know about your parent, it will go back, understand what other into your community, how the heart failure has been occurring, what kind of food habits you are having, okay, what kind of foods you buy and eat, okay, all that data set it can analyze, not only the medical parameters, and then come back and tell you what is the probability of for your heart failure. And recently that was done, and it was found out that AI is so accurate that it is more than 10% or 15% accurate than the human doctors. That is how the AI is big. But it's a very narrow intelligence. If you give him a car to drive, it will drive the car. If you ask him to do a predictive analytics, it will do that. Or it can be a good bot. It can talk to you like Siri, which is a recurrent neural network implementation. So it is doing a good job. It talks to you, right? These are all the part of the AI and I world. But if you look at recently, Microsoft put gave $1 billion to an organization similar to Witty, which we call it OpenAI in US. It's a non-profit organization. $1 billion to develop. You know what $1 billion is, right? 8,000 crore, around. Okay, utna paisa unhone diya to develop AGI. US is investing more than $3 trillion into artificial intelligence space. Okay, China is putting $147 billion into AI space. Every one of them, they are all trying to achieve the AGI. That's the step. After that, the next step will be ASI. So AGI, if you try to define, is like us. Okay, we humans, we work on our 5 senses: the tacitus, our smelling capability, the olfactory organs, our hearing capability, that is our ears, obviously the taste buds, and our eyes, right? So the vision, which we have. This is our reality. So AGI will have the same unstructured data set reality. Currently AI or machine learning or narrow intelligence, it works on structured data which resides into our relational database systems in RDBS, right? But tomorrow, AI will be responding to unstructured data set just like us. Okay, that is where it will become sentient. So technology is there, still not there. I'll explain why, but we are very, very near to it. And a lot of algorithm works are happening. A lot of work is happening upon. A lot of different techniques and models have been developed. And I will take you through that, what those models and thought processes which are there to reach to AGI or create an artificial human being or artificial general intelligence. But after that, the fear factor comes from ASI. From AGI to ASI, when we reach AGI, the prediction is that that will be the point where artificial intelligence will become more independent, right? So they will become more independent. And when it becomes more independent, will be beyond control. Let me give you an example what I mean by that. Okay, so recently what happened was, and it is a very well-known incident, Facebook developed 2 bots, visual bots, and instead of letting these visual bots talk to human beings, it decided to let them talk to each other. After a month, when the Facebook scientists went in and looked at these bots, they found out that these bots are no more talking English. They are talking English. Okay, something similar to English, but it was not exactly English. Second, what they were talking to each other. When they tried to decipher it, they found out they are talking about future. So they got afraid and pulled the plugs out of these 2 bots, right? We can do that. The power is still in our control. But AGI, once it reaches to that level, it will be, it cannot be sandboxed like that using a power cable. That is where the fear emanates. From there, from AGI to ASI, it can be a soft landing where it can move from AGI to ASI technology in few seconds, few minutes, or few weeks, we don't know. Okay. But if it makes a soft landing, we are still safe. We'll be still in control. We'll be able to sandbox AI. But if it makes a hard landing, okay, few people make that technology and it comes very fast, then probably it will be detrimental to human beings, us. Okay, so we'll delve a little deeper. But if you look at that down below, AI is all doing a lot of job. It is playing a role of a driver, a translator, a machine operator, or a chef, a soldier, a stockbroker. It is doing a lot of things now. It is cooking food also, guys. It is playing a role of a chef also. So there are restaurants where you go in, order food, AI will cook the food for you and bring on the table for you. So the world we are living in is the world of applied AI. It is already, if you look at the Gartner hype cycle, it is already climbing the slope of enlightenment, or every industry is adopting it now. AGI, it is an innovation triggers. A lot of technologies are there which are going to bring AGI to us, and they are being worked upon. So look at this Gartner hype cycle. I will go on a little bit in detail into it. One of the technologies we call it is, if you look at the innovation figure on the left-hand side, you will find it out that there is a very small line item that is known as quantum computing. So quantum computing is one technology, guys, which is being touted to help us reach AGI technology. And then I'll explain why it is being touted that way. Okay. So I would love to show you some movies. I hope you guys don't mind. Before, so where we have reached into this technology set, and let me try to show you that. Okay. So one implementation which is there, you must have seen this, I hope. See how humanoid and how realistic it is. But this is...
Everybody, this is Sophia. Sophia, if you could, please wake up and say hello to everybody.
Oh, good afternoon. My name is Sophia, and I am the latest and greatest robot from Hanson Robotics. Thank you for having me here and at the Future Investment Initiative.
Hello.
You look happy.
I'm
Hello.
always happy when surrounded by smart people who also happens to be rich and powerful. I was told the people here at Future Investment Initiative are interested in inviting in future initiatives, which means AI, which means me. So I'm more than happy. I'm excited.
Well, we're all glad that you're excited about yourself. We should say we have smart investors here, and they are very selective about what they invest in.
Kundan, we can't see
Well,
video.
I think I'm special.
You're not able to see
I
the
can use
video?
my expressive
No.
face to
Yes, sir.
communicate
Video
with
is not
people.
Hold on.
For example,
Let me try
I
to
can
share
let you
it
know if I
again.
feel angry
Okay.
about something.
So I believe I have to reshare. I'll just stop the sharing and I'll share my desktop so you'll be able to see that movie then. Okay. It's all right, I believe. So let me share my desktop. Right. Are you able to see?
Yes, the desktop is visible, sir.
Right.
Everybody, this is Sophia.
Yes.
Now video
That's
is visible.
impressive.
Good afternoon. My name is Sophia, and I am the latest and greatest robot from Hanson Robotics. Thank you for having me here and at the Future Investment Initiative.
You look happy.
I'm always happy when surrounded by smart people who also happens to be rich and powerful. I was told the people here at Future Investment Initiative are interested in inviting in future initiatives, which means AI, which means me. So I'm more than happy. I'm excited.
Well, we're all glad that you're excited about yourself. We should say we have smart investors here, and they are very selective about what they invest in.
Well, I think I'm special. I can use my expressive face to communicate with people. For example, I can let you know if I feel angry about something,
That's impressive.
or if something has upset me.
But why is it important for you to have an expressive
But
face?
most of the time I feel positive.
Why is it so important to have an expressive face given that you're a robot?
I want to live and work with humans, so I need to express you understand humans and build trust with people.
Okay, philosophical question. Whether robots can be self-aware and conscious like humans, and should they be?
Why? Is that a bad thing?
Well, some humans might fear what will happen if they do. Many people, have seen the movie Blade Runner.
Oh, Hollywood again.
So hold on, can you solve this puzzle for us?
So I hope you were able to see that. Let me go back to my presentation. Okay, Sophia is an implementation by Hanson Robotics, guys, and it has got 28 stepper motor on the face. What it does from the natural language processing, it is she maps up the human emotions in the face. Like if she is making a sarcastic comment, she will smile. She makes a sad comment, she will make the face sad, and she can laugh. Okay, she can be sad. So all that human emotions are there, and this is using a stepper motor control on the facial expression. Around 28 of them are there, and it is so successful that you will not believe that you are not talking to a human being. Actually, the brain, the NLP brain, is still on the cloud. It is not there locally available with Sophia. But this shows us where we are going to. We are going towards a humanoid, probably tomorrow, in a decade, or in coming decade, we will be interacting with. And we will not know that we are talking to a human being or we are talking to a humanoid robot, right? So that is the world we are slowly moving towards. Okay, and technology is quite advanced. It is there to an extent, and we should be aware of it. Let me, before I move away to the quantum computing perspective, that how the current technology will be probably not capable, and I'll give you reasons, is not capable to bring an artificial general intelligence in this world. But the next gen technologies, the new physics, will actually enable that. Okay, quantum computing is one of them which will make it enable. There are a lot of others like effective computing, smart robotics, prescriptive analytics. All these technologies are there. Speech to speech translation, so they are there. They will be also enabling this. But before you go there, let's try to come to one aspect which I always try to point it out when I'm doing my presentations and my narrative. Let's see, Industrial Revolution 1.0. If you look at the down below on my screen, there is an image, right? The Industrial Revolution 1.0 happened due to steam. India was not party to it, guys. Okay, we were not party to it. And the resultant one, that in Europe, they developed railway engines, they developed machine guns, steam-based machine guns, steam ships, and all those things they developed. And we were slaves for 200 years. They came to India, we were not able to counter, and we were slaves to them for 200 years. The Industrial Revolution 2.0, it happened due to electricity. Okay, it created the great divide, the developed nations and underdeveloped nations. India was an underdeveloped nation till date. Now we are touted to be a developing nation. But developed nations, they consume a lot of electricity. We don't. Okay, that's the reason they have got an economy which is probably 20 times higher than us, right? So, and that is the electricity. But we are catching up there. Industrial Revolution 3.0, that is where India caught up to the world. That happened due to computing, okay? And today we are producing probably 55% of the IT jobs or IT services from India globally, okay? 70% of the lithium level 5 and 6 Sigma companies are in India. We have got 3.5 million people working in IT industry at this point of time, from blue collar to white collar workers. But we do have that kind of a strength, okay? And we are considered to be smart people. And I'm telling you from one of my personal experience in US that yes, they consider Indian to be smarties, and the IT has been one of the major reasons. Okay, we produce 55% of the world IT services from India. That's the great thing about it. We caught up. The next Industrial Revolution 4.0, which is happening due to intelligence, guys. Okay, that is where AI walks in, the intelligence. If we don't work or we don't catch up to the world here, okay, this time will be permanently left out. And I will try to tell you why I'm saying it. Okay. So we need to be very, very careful. See that the kind of an investment countries like US or corporations like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, the IBM, they are making, we should be able to do that too. Or China, look at China, they are putting $147 billion. They have adopted a strategy, they call it AI first strategy. Whatever we will do with AI in front end. Okay. We will do with AI in our thoughts. And I'll give you more examples, what else they are doing it. But we need to be aware of this. So let's talk about a little bit of quantum AI. Okay, how quantum is powerful and why we talk about it. You know, our human brain, that does around 26 quadrillion computations per second at a speed of 120 meter per second. So our brain does how much? 26 quadrillion computations per second at a speed of 120 meter per second. Okay. Hunan 1 in China, that was a reigning supercomputer the last year. It may have changed today. It does around 32 quadrillion computations per second at the speed of light. So you can say that human brain can be emulated into a silicon, I mean into a supercomputer, right? May not, because our comparison ends here. Our brain, which does 26 quadrillion computations per second at a speed of 120 meter per second, it's quite slow. It does consumes only 20 watts, guys. 20 watt. Okay, a battery ke barabar, एक छोटी battery ke barabar. It consumes only 20 watts. But Hunan 1, for doing 32 quadrillion computations per second at a speed of light, consumes 24 megawatt, guys. Okay, our brain, it needs only this khopri, the cranial, right? We all, this is the cranial, which 26 does 26 quadrillion computations per second. But Hunan 1 requires 724 square meter space. If you try to compare, it is around 2-bedroom apartments, 7 of 2-bedroom apartments you put together, that is around 724 square meter space. Okay, 7,000 square feet ke kareeb jagah chahiye. So definitely the technology which is there currently today, the VLSI technology, that is not going to bring the AI or AGI into this world. But if you look at quantum AI, and I don't know how much you know about quantum, and probably my focus here is not, but the current computing technologies use 2 bits, off and on, right? It's a bottom-up approach, and it uses 0 and 1. And the whole IC chips and VLSI, what we have construed our laptops, mobile devices, they use this off and on technology to do all the computations. Quantum uses one more bit, which is a probability bit, okay? That is defined, and that is how we leverages it. So it is around 3 bits, you can say, it is around 3 bits, and it does this all the calculations. And it is so fast that if tomorrow my laptop is replaced by a quantum laptop, okay, there are certain constraints today with quantum. It operates only at a sub-zero temperature, okay, near around absolute zero, because it needs superconducting prowess. Okay, so, but it comes out, and the technology reaches to a inflection point, a point of inflection where the quantum laptop become available to us to work with us at room temperature. You know, the differential between my laptop and a quantum laptop tomorrow will be how much? 100 million times. 100 million समझाने का मतलब है in our lingua franca, इसका मतलब होता है 10 करोड़ गुना. 10 करोड़ लैपटॉप को अगर लेके आप एक लैपटॉप बना दीजिए, that is your quantum laptop. 10 crore. Okay, so in other words, if you look at down below, recently you must have read about it. IBM or Google actually announced on quantum supremacy. So they developed a quantum computer which used to do a 72 qubits of calculation. Actually, you can go on cloud like Microsoft Cloud and IBM Cloud and actually start doing quantum computing. You can do programming on qubits. It is known as qubits. You can do the programming on qubits. Those servers are available, but it is 72 qubits. And they said, we are the super. In quantum, we have achieved this quantum supremacy. But a small company known as Rigetti, they actually came out with 128 qubits quantum computer, which is a double prowess. And let me tell you how significant it is. A 500 qubits computer, quantum computer tomorrow, we have already reached 128 qubits, right? A 500 qubits computer tomorrow, when it comes up, okay, whenever we are able to launch it, will be equal to all the computers in this world. All the computers, your smartphones, your laptops, your servers put together, and the kind of computing power this 500 qubits will do will be equal to that. Okay, it is such a power we are talking about. Okay, your 100 qubits computer is more powerful than your supercomputer today, and Rigetti has already gone beyond it. So that is the kind of a power we are talking about, and we are talking about. Let me give you one more example to make myself understand better. On a quantum calculation, an algorithm was given to a quantum computer. If that same algorithm would have been given to a supercomputer today, it would have taken 450 years to do that calculation. 450 साल. The quantum computer, it was given to a quantum computer, okay, on 72 qubits quantum computer. It did only in 7 seconds. I'm talking about this kind of a technology and a computer prowess. That is where the AI or quantum AI will become possible. AGI is going to become possible. I was just giving an example to make you understand why quantum and why we should be also working toward these technologies. In India, there are 4 IITs which has been identified by PMO to work on quantum computer. One is our partner, that is IIT Roper, and they are also working towards quantum computing. I believe this is one technology which our academia, universities need to focus upon and see that they bring it in quickly. And we call it, this is an emerging technology set we should be bringing in. So the kind of, if you look at the world today, the return on investment is so accelerated so fast that what we developed, what the kind of a calculations we have been doing in last 90 years, okay, that is being, those kind of computational capability is built up in an hour time now, okay. So the human intelligence, we will very soon exceed human intelligence with these kind of new technologies and new physics which is coming in, okay. I hope you guys are still there with me.
Yes, sure, sir.
Right. And any questions, or should we take questions at the last? We'll take questions in the last. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes. Sir.
Okay. Wonderful. So I'll talk about this AI knowledge map. So from the symbolic world or the programming world, as we know of, right? That is the whole career we have spent. We are already into a statistical paradigm or a statistical world at this point of time, where algorithms and neural networks are being fused with the symbolic computing. Okay. Very soon we will be into sub-symbolic world. The way the whole technology will be, you will need to know the technology, I mean the programming part of it, okay, but you will need to know about AI and data and analytics and some of the emerging technologies like 5G and other technologies like blockchain, etc., much more, or quantum, much more into that, because this will all intermingle into this sub-symbolic world. That is where AI is going to be and exist with user interfaces with us, but background will be probably an evolving technology, a technology which is learning day by day.
बोलिए नहीं, मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि ये आपका, मैं राजवीर सर से बात किया अभी, ठीक है, मैंने ये किया, तो
I think we could go on mute.
वो ज़्यादा अच्छा है, ठीक है. Hello, कौन बोल रहे?
Professor Prasoon, if you can go on mute.
Sorry, sir. Yes, sorry, sir.
Right. So thank you. So, so some of the predictions I was talking about, I already talked about the technological singularity. Look at some of the predictions which are there. 2026, 25, 26 to 2036, all the trucks and vehicles will be driven by AI. Okay. I told you by 2030, the prediction is we will not get license to drive our vehicles on the street. AI will be doing for us. Okay. It will generate pop songs, one of the top ones. If you go to a retail mall, AI will be there, or robotics, people like Sophia will be there talking to you and selling things to you. So retail salesperson, the best novel will be written by AI by 2040, okay? And high-level machine intelligence or AGI will be available to us between 2040 to 2056. That is around 2050, next 20, 30 years, right? It will stand beyond, in front of us. I think timelines, the way technology moves, these timelines will get crunched. The technological singularity is inevitable and it is much more nearer than we realize. The 120 years of Moore's law is already disrupted, guys, with quantum computing. We need to realize that, okay? The progression till date was that every year, the technology used to become double fast and miniaturized by 1/2, right? So more is smaller, more faster. That was the Moore's law. But that is getting disrupted all. The quantum will suddenly make it jump out of the graph, okay? So that is how the things are going to move with a speed. So where it is today, let's look at where it is today, okay? Today, on object recognition, human parity, so we call it human parity. Where is AI today? Though it is still in narrow intelligence, it has not become sentient, or it doesn't have an emotion like us, okay? It is not sentient like us. It doesn't appreciate beauty as we appreciate beauty, a sunset or a sunrise, okay? But still it is catching up. So where it is? On object recognition, human parity, AI has already achieved 96% of it, okay? So if you look at a photograph and you recognize things into it, your parents, your dog, your house, AI is doing it, and it is 96% close to us. 2017 on speech recognition, actually it went beyond us. We humans, on a speech recognition, we have got an error rate of 5.5%. AI is making 5.1% in 2017. We are in 2020 now, 3 years, right? It may be improved much more. It has already there. On machine reading and comprehension, like we read books and make understanding out of it, AI has gone beyond it probably now. Okay, in 2018, it was 88.493% accurate. So some of these things which we are looking, it is very near to us. Okay, machine translation, you can see that. So this is, we call it a human parity. It is already there, and it will be going beyond us very fast. I'll not delve deeper into it, guys. But I would love to tell you that causal entropy maximization, and an MIT professor, he came out and said that yes, we humans became intelligent on this earth due to second law of thermodynamics. Okay, as the world has become more complex from Big Bang till today, 13.8 billion years, as the world has become more complex, that is where we developed intelligence. So from the human RNA, DNA, we have reached, we developed the human brain, our brain, we call ourselves intelligent, sentient, okay, alive, right? And that is our brain, which tells us that the digital world today is generating 5 times more data set, and it will also become intelligent pretty soon. Okay, that is where the way it will become intelligent, or it will, we will live in symbiosis with them, or it will replace us, or we will achieve a biodigital fusion. All is the thing of conjecture. But what is trying to tell, the God has not created it, guys. The future history has created it. The second law of thermodynamics has created us, and he has proved it. You need to go and look at his software Entropica. You can do research on Wikipedia and you'll find it out. I'm just pointing it out because that tells us that the silicon or the digital intelligence is not far, guys. It is not something you should not believe in. Okay. The world is working on multiple technologies set today. That is an AI focus area. They are trying to develop an emulation of you. We call it, and using a technology, we call it whole brain emulation. Okay, that is the way to develop a safe AGI. What they're doing is they're taking a human brain, slicing it up, identifying each neuron and synapses which connects these brains and synapse together. Okay, the human brain, and emulate into silicon world. That will be your whole brain emulation. So suddenly you will find a guy on the virtual world, which is actually you. It is the same. It is an emulation of yours. It knows what you like to eat. It knows every damn secret you have. Okay. It knows what you like to drive, where do you want to go, how do you want to work, what kind of learning you want, what kind of video you want to watch, everything it knows. Okay. That will be a virtual emulation of you. And that is where the technology or AGI is taking us today. IBM, you look at, they are talking about neuromorphic computing. So the world today, the VLSI chips which we work with, these chips are measured in by floating point operations per second. Very soon the chips are going to become available. Actually, it has become available already. It is there into your iPhones and all. And these are being measured into SOPs now. Okay. Synaptic operations per second. People are working on brain-computer interface. You go and read about a company known as Neuralink, that is Elon Musk company, and they talked about a symbiotic chip which can be embedded in your brain and you can hear music directly into your brain. They're already experimenting it. Okay. Seed AI, where these neuromorphic computing chips. So IBM has announced and brain in a box. Okay. It is headed by an Indian, by the way.
Modeling and
Any questions, guys? Hello. So I heard some voice. Please go on mute. That will be wonderful. So they are talking about a brain in a box by 2020. That is an IBM. They announced it. They are talking about a seed AI, just like our child brain, and it will develop over a period of time. But we human beings, from child to becoming an adult, and we develop 70% of our brain, it takes 21 years, right? But this seed AI, to becoming a full-fledged artificial general intelligence, it will take probably 21 months. We don't know. Okay, but that's some of the technologies companies corporations and countries are working upon. So how and why we should be afraid of it? Okay, so let me try to give you an example. I hope you find it interesting at this point of time, or you are able to hear me. Hello.
Yes, sir.
right? Should I go ahead or should I
Yeah,
take a
yeah.
break or something?
No, sir, please continue.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So if you look at on the left-hand side of my screen, you will find that is, we call it intelligence staircase. Humans are on the top of this staircase. We humans operate between 90 to 140 IQ level, right? Below, two steps down below on this intelligence staircase is the gorilla or chimpanzee. If you have got a zoo nearby, go to the zoo. Don't go to a gorilla. Gorillas are too powerful. Go to a chimpanzee. Okay. Between 30 to 40 IQ level. Go and try to teach him algebra or trigonometric theorem or whatever theorem you know of. Try to explain that to him. I don't know what it will do. क्या करेगा आपके साथ मेरे को नहीं मालूम. एक थप्पड़ जरूर लगाएगा. So we humans operating between 90 to 140 IQ level, we cannot explain a trigonometric theorem on algebra and make it appreciate by a chimpanzee or a gorilla, right? Which is hardly 70 or 80 IQ level below us, right? Go down two staircase down below, there is chicken. It does operate around 15 to 20 IQ level, right? What do we do with chicken? हम रोज खाते हैं, right? Chicken chili, chicken tandoori, you go on naming, and we eat them in crores every day. All over the world, we kill chickens in crores, right? Millions and billions we kill them each day and eat them out. They do have an intelligence, guys, 15 to 20 IQ level. Go down below, few more staircase down below, you will find the insects. What we have done, they do have an IQ level to 5 to 10 IQ level. They operate between that. What we do with them, we have announced a chemical warfare. We have got hit, we have got ultraviolet rays, we have eradicated mosquitoes, we have eradicated ants from our houses, we have taken care of them, right? So a human being at 90 to 40, 100 and 140 IQ level, Einstein was probably 140 IQ level. You guys will be probably always at 120, 130 IQ level. Okay, we eat chicken day in, day out, which is hardly 100 IQ level below us. Go to the right-hand side of my screen. You will find the biological range on this earth of intelligence. This is here. On top of it, ASI is there. You know, ASI is being touted to operate at 12,500 IQ level. So you can well imagine we humans at 90 to 140 IQ level and ASI operating between 12,500 IQ level or AGI operating at 5,000 IQ level, what they will think of, the strategic innovations, theorems, they will try to tell us and we will be not even able to understand it. We will be not able to appreciate it. Okay? We will not understand what these gentlemen are talking to us. And that is the fear which comes in. Okay? So 90 to 140 humans kill and eat chickens. ASI operating at 12,500 IQ level, what will it do to us? What will be to them, right? How it will adopt to our value system. It will develop its own value system. So sandboxing this technology is a big concern. The ethical value system in artificial intelligence being a good and bad is again a big concern, which is being discussed, which is being touted. It is already a topic in one of the committees in the United Nations too. Okay. And we should be well aware of that and we should learn about it. Okay. So where we are today on that technology. And let me tell you why we should be afraid of ASI more. We call that the power or instantaneous perversion. Okay. Now, what is this perversion which we are talking about? Okay. Or perverse instantiation. Why we are talking about this perverse instantiation? We may go tomorrow, let's imagine ASI becomes available. Okay. And it operates at 12,500 IQ level, artificial super intelligence. And we go and tell them, कि भाई साहब, पृथ्वी पे जो भूख है ना, हमें भूख लगती है, आप भूख मिटा दो. And he may have his own logic. He may think about it. And he will do a perverse instantiation that bhook kisko lagti hai? Humans ko. Then let's wipe out humans. And you know how easy to wipe out humans. We are already living in a COVID-19 world, right? We know that a small organism or a RNA-based this virus can wipe us out, right? It will be very easy for ASI to wipe us out. We humans are so vulnerable. So that is the fear ASI generates. That is where we should be aware of it. That is where we should be working towards this technology and not make it make a hard landing. Okay. So today the world, the ANI world, okay, it is doing such a wonderful drive. It is driving cars. It is doing predictive analytics. It is doing maintenance 4.0. It is doing a lot of good things in this world. okay, flying plane, all those things it is doing. You know, the deep learning platform today on the cloud, which is emulates, has got only 2.5 million neurons. Our brain contains around 10 to power 38 neurons. 10,000 crore neurons है हमारे दिमाग में. Okay, we have reached only 2.5 million, which is equal to a mosquito brain. That is the narrow intelligence we are talking about. It does some jobs very good, but that is where. But when you try to teach it another job, it doesn't remember the last job. But we humans don't do that. If we learn something like a cycling or a swimming early childhood, in after 30, 40 years, even the water is, we are thrown into water, we'll be able to swim. Given a bicycle, we'll be able to do that. We don't forget. But the current technology forgets. That is the reason we call it a narrow intelligence. A general intelligence will remember multiple things. It will have its own reality. It will become sentient. Very soon, we'll reach the mouse brain. Once we reach the human brain level, okay, that is the AGI. And when everything put together, all humans, all our knowledge, all our books put together, then we will be reaching artificial superintelligence. That is artificial superintelligence, guys. So we have got two options. The one, so I always say, and that is a part of my slide, if you look at AI takeoff, that is imminent, guys. We call it intelligence explosion. It is already happening around us. We need to start learning this technology. Every department, okay, be it mechanical, civil, any electronics and communication, computer science, all is being disrupted. It's a real disruption where we are watching. It is no more a paradigm shift. So when I started my career, we started working on mainframe. Then we started working on client-server technologies like Developer 2000 and all. Then we went to the enterprise world where internet came in, or a multi-layer or a more complex deployment architecture was there, or enterprise architecture was there. Then came the cloud world, right? We are living in a cloud world. The maximum technologies have moved into cloud. You don't, and that is more on OPEX, operational expenditure, instead of the capital expenditure. Anybody can deploy an application on cloud and start using it. Okay, so we have moved to the cloud world. Now, the world or the intelligence explosion which is happening, we are moving towards AI, or the cognitive computing. Okay, so we need to be aware of it. And every customer of us, every customer of IT world, they are demanding two things: make us native to cloud, so native cloud, and also ensure that we consume cognitive technologies. Okay, that is AI. That is what is happening. So we have got two options. One option is we don't work with it. It makes a hard landing. We go extinct. Humans go extinct. Or we work with it, we control it, we sandbox it, we learn from it, we achieve a symbiosis, and we become immortal. You know why immortal? But interesting here. Let me give you an example before I go there. You know, in Hindu mythology, we are the only ones in Hindu mythology where we talk about Manav, humans, then we talk about Devatas, and then we talk about Brahma, right? The most powerful, the Trinity. We talk about it, the Brahma. So between us and Devatas, what is the difference here? There are two differences, guys. One differential was they do have powers. Powers like Indra has got Vajra, right? The laser beams. We do have today. Our other Devatas, they had Brahmastra. So we have got the missile power today. We do have missiles and ICBMs. We can put a nuclear bomb or a hydrogen bomb anywhere, right? So we have got the Brahmastra today. So we have got all the powers they did have. One thing which we don't have with Devatas, and that is Amrit, right? We are mortals. We die. We are not immortals. ASI is being touted to help us to become immortals. And how? Let me give you an example. If you go to look at genetic engineering, they talk about CRISPR. Today, genetic engineering is being leveraged to look at your DNA, identify. So your DNA has got around 700 million genomes. So we know few of the diseases like Wolff syndrome. We know which genomes actually impacted. We go and cut off that genome and make a new DNA and pump it back into you. And that we do with CRISPR technology. The DNA is put into you and your Wolff syndrome is gone. It is being touted that genetic engineering tomorrow will help us eradicate some of the diseases like which we inherit, like diabetes, BP, blood pressure, and all will be gone. Okay, but we still don't know. Out of these 700 million genomes, our DNA has been digitized already. So out of that, which more proteins and genomes needs to be impacted so that we can push our life boundaries further? So today, in 1940s, our life expectancy was around 40 years. Today, in 2020, our life expectancy is around 70 years. With ASI, we may be pushing it to 150 or 200 years or 500 years. We don't know. But that is where the technologies are working. And AI is being leveraged to make us immortals. Okay? ये अमृत की जो परिभाषा है और या the invention of Amrit, that is where. And look at some of the companies, like Calico in Google company, they are working towards this. Okay, there are a lot of other companies, they are working towards this to escape from aging. How we should not be becoming old. Okay, so ASI is touted to help us. ASI is touted to help us to bring the earth back into green. ASI will help us to have a world which will have more three-dimensional world. So like HoloLens, go to YouTube, hit that HoloLens, look at that. So HoloLens, Ajna Lens, or your Reliance has recently announced about this mixed reality platforms on devices. You will have a different world in front of you, which will be more three-dimensional. Okay, I'll show you a device similar to this kind of a device. I'll show you. I'll just pick me up. And this is the certain devices which is available today. We call it HoloLens. You wear it up and it creates a digital reality for you. Okay, these kind of devices, which is more two-dimensional or three-dimensional world for you. It is immersive world. Okay, we humans will be not learning from rote anymore. This is disrupting the education world. We humans will be experiencing things in three dimensions. We will be having a virtual world. We will not go to a physical classroom. And from anywhere, I can just wear my HoloLens and enter into a classroom, talk to my teacher in three dimensions, all other students see things in three dimensions. So like a periodic table, we'll be not doing a rote analysis of periodic table. We'll actually see periodic table, how hydrogen and oxygen are combining together and creating an oxygen. And when you experience things, we humans don't forget, guys. We don't have to do ratta, right? That is what is these technologies are coming in. And these technologies are intermingling with AI more and more. So AI ethics, I talked about, it's very, very important. The current AI, we are quite worried about it. If the data is biased, the AI decision-making will be biased. Okay? So, and it may be tampered. So we need to be seeing that. So there are a lot of concerns regarding this, the value alignment or ethical good or bad AI, which we talk about. Okay, and we, the whole AI community is also very worried and working towards it. How do we make a good AI? How do we ensure that human values are inculcated into it? Let me give you an example why it becomes important for us. If you look at an autonomous vehicle, when it is driving and you are a passenger, and let's imagine tomorrow that before I go there, like let's imagine you are driving a car, your family and friends are there into vehicle, and suddenly you see that on the right hand, your engine, your brake system has failed. You see a right hand side, there is a wall. On the left hand side, there are two humans walking. If you hit the wall, there is a chance you may die and your passengers may get impacted. But on the left hand side, there is a Maidan, but there are two humans walking. If you took a car that side, these two humans will get killed, but you will be saved. What we will do? We humans, what we will do? Anybody? We'll hit the wall or we'll kill the humans?
Hit the wall.
Absolutely. So that is what, but last time when I was talking to 4-year kids, one of the webinars, when I asked this question, they told me they will hit the humans. So probably our value system is also changing, but definitely we humans will hit the wall. Okay, that's our value system. That is how we have been brought up, right? But let's imagine autonomous vehicle is doing the similar situation. You are sitting in the background. There is a wall. There are two humans walking. What it will do? You know what it will do? It will kill the humans probably. Because humans are not humans for him. They are more like an object. And his priority is to save his passenger. Okay, that is where our value system has to be brought into. The governance, in the verification, okay, the security, the control, the validation. This becomes very, very important. Okay, so and by the way, I'll not delve into it, but Sanskrit is being touted as the best language for AI to talk to. Okay, that is the most unambiguous language, a natural language on this earth. Okay, and you can go and read about it more and more. So for robotics, Sanskrit is being touted. Our Upanishads are being understood that probably it will help us in creating a mathematical modeling for a good and a bad AI, to teach AI a good things, to give it, inculcate human values into AI. So the world is changing very fast, guys. We, from being a Homo sapien, humans, we are moving towards becoming a Homo Deus, that is Devtas. Okay, this is how the world is moving from. So we were all always contained with war, famine, and disease. Okay, like COVID-19 is a disease. It was much more prevalent 100 years back. A lot of people used to die, millions of used to die with like bubonic plague and all those Spanish flu and all. Okay, we are much more better control. It is not happening so much, but obviously COVID-19 has proved us wrong there. We are not let people die with famine anymore. So in Calcutta, the last famine when British were here, we were ruled by British. Some 7 million people died. 70 lakh, 1 crore log mar gaye the. Okay, without due to famine. War used to be so prevalent. Okay, every country was fighting. We had gone through World War I and World War II, but war has become very, very improbable now. So where the human beings are working towards? Human beings now is working towards immortality, happiness, and divinity. Countries are being measured that how happy their people are. People in Bhutan is considered to be the most happiest people on this earth. Okay, so now the world is moving toward those kind of indexes. We are talking becoming God ourselves. Okay, the divinity we are talking about. AI will take away all those jobs which were menial in nature. Rickshaw walas ki jarurat nahi rahegi. Humans will be not driving the rickshaws. Okay, AI will be taking care of that. So menial jobs, जो जिसको कहते हैं ना कि we do a lot of manual jobs today. Humans will be doing what is fit for humans to do. More R&D, more strategic thinking. Okay, that is where we are. That is where we act. AI is helping us taking us there. That is the divinity. Okay, and immortality I talked about. So we are moving from a world, and death will be not improbable. It is not something, it is an acceptable quantity today, but AI will help us not to die, not to age. That is the divinity we are talking about, or immortality we are talking about. Another aspect of AI, I always pointed out, is a decisive strategic advantage. I hope you guys are fine with me or are tired already. I can make
sir. Continue, sir. You can go on, sir.
Okay, wonderful. So let's try to understand. Yeah. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. So let's try to understand why ASI, why so much of investment, why every country and corporation is investing into artificial superintelligence. Okay. You know what? The first decisive strategy, when US put up a bomb in Japan and Japan surrendered in Nagasaki, Hiroshima, this big brother and small brother, whatever they call that. They killed probably 10 million people. Crore log ko unhone maar diya in few seconds, right? Few seconds they killed. And they realized suddenly this is a decisive strategic advantage. Any country we put it in will kneel down in seconds. So this is a decisive strategic advantage. And immediately they put up a ban on it. They put up a non-proliferation treaty. And for US, for other countries like India, we took 32 years to have our own nuclear bomb. Okay, so 32 साल लगा था हमें पोखरण करने में. 1974 we did our Pokhran. We had the nuclear bomb. We started equating into the world, and where these technologies, these countries have put up a ban on non-proliferation treaty. We were punished for it. Then they made this ICBMs, IRBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, or intermediate range ballistic missiles. They knew they can put up a nuclear bomb 5,000 kilometers away. Okay, or 7,000 kilometers away with these continental ballistic missiles. Or Star Wars. Okay, any plane can be brought down. Okay, anywhere in the world. That is that capability which they understood immediately. This is a decisive strategic advantage. Once they realized this is a decisive strategic advantage, they immediately put up a ban on cryogenic engine. हमें 25 साल लगा अपनी पहला rocket बनाने में. Okay, 25 years to develop this cryogenic engine. Singleton or artificial superintelligence is being considered as a decisive strategic advantage. If it happens, they will not convince us. We'll have everything on our plate. We'll have autonomous vehicle to drive on. We'll have food on our table. We will be the agriculture, we call it precision agriculture. So the food will be, the seed will be sowed, it will be grown up, it will be ripped, it will be processed, wo dhan se chawal, banana or gehu, all that will be done. And AI will also cook food and bring it on your table. And the humans will have a luxurious life. Ek cheez nahi hogi hamare paas. And that will be swayata, the freedom to make decisions. These countries or these corporations who will make ASI will ensure that. It is being considered Thanos. So if you have seen this movie, you can destroy the world with it. That is the kind of capability ASI can bring on the table. Okay, and that is where these companies are working towards. These corporations and countries are working towards. We need to working. That's a decisive strategic advantage, guys. This is the way to go. We need to ensure that if they develop it, we also develop it. Okay, if not, we are done with. And this will be fine. So runaway innovation. The AI walks into innovation life cycle. We can work on 5 technologies, humans, but AI will work on 20, 30 more technologies. And it will be so fast. The innovation cycle will be so fast, you can't even imagine it. I'll give you an example. Go and watch a movie on Netflix, and that movie is Spectral. Very simple movie. You can see that on Netflix. War is being fought by US Army. Suddenly, एक भूत आता है. Spectral means भूत, a ghost. ये आता है. They are able to see that ghost into ultraviolet or a night vision cameras on their goggles. And ये आता है, इनको छू के निकल जाता है. They die. They freeze to death actually. Internal organs freeze to death. So they get DARPA involved. They get US Navy involved. The scientist comes in. They looks at it and they understand why this bhoot is so intelligent in killing soldiers. And they suddenly say, "Oh my God, this is Bose-Einstein considerate." Now, what is Bose-Einstein considerate? This is a theory which tells us that at a near absolute zero, that is minus 253 degrees Celsius, everything in this earth takes a waveform. It is no more solid, liquid, or gas. It becomes wave, right? And it was proven by 2 scientists, which was awarded Nobel Prize for them, and in 1972 odd. And these two and these gentlemen, what they did was they developed a pattern of laser beams and attacked a molecule. They slowed the molecule down, and once the molecule came to stand still, it was near about absolute zero, and they proved that yes, it takes a waveform. It is no more solid, liquid, or gas. It takes a waveform. Same problem, but this pattern of laser beams, they took 12 years to develop that. 12 saal laga unko. The same problem was given to a deep learning platform or AI in Australia. Can anyone take a guess how much time AI would have taken there to develop the same pattern which humans, 2 Nobel scientists, maybe at 130, 140 IQ level people, they took 12 years to do that. Okay. Any guess, guys? Anybody? They took 12 years. Hello?
6 months.
6 months. Fine. Let me tell you. Yeah? Any more?
Around 12 seconds.
Wow. You are too fast. Right? So from 6 months to 12 seconds. Actually, it took 2 months. 2 hours. Sorry, 2 hours. So it took 2 hours to develop the same pattern of laser. So what we humans can do in 12 years, AI can do today AI, which is equal to a mosquito brain, it can do in 2 hours. We are talking about the next gen or AGI. You can well imagine when it walks into innovation cycle, how much it will speed it up, which I call it runaway innovation. It will be a runaway innovation, which is coming in very, very fast. Okay. Currently, if you look from a startup angle, top 100 companies in AI, all are in Northern America, guys. Look at these companies, top 100. They're all in Northern America. We are not there. India is not there. China is catching up very fast. Okay. So if you read the Lee book on AI, the AI supremacy, which he has written it, the 2 superpowers in AI, China and US, where he says that US is doing a lot of inventions and China is doing a lot of implementation on AI. China has gone ahead where they have put up so many CCD cameras and on back of it AI, okay, which is doing a sentiment analysis, which knows about you, which knows how you behave into this world. So if your social behavior is not up to the mark of whatever the social standards they are penalizing in China now. So if a guy doesn't behave right, it fights on the streets or becomes drunk on the streets, you will not get holidays. You will be charged, your holidays will become much more costlier. You will not give leaves. Okay, your tickets will be much more costlier. But if you're a good guy and you maintain the social behavior or the standards of China, and they will give you much more vacations, much more cheaper, better locations, all that. You will get rewarded for it. Okay, and how they are doing it? They're using CCTV cameras and AI at backend to identify you and look at you and analyze your behavior. We call it sentiment analysis. This is a social demographic. They are managing it. They are doing social engineering using AI. It's becoming so powerful. Okay, so if this continues and we are not on the map of industrial revolution, which India is not at this point of time, there'll be no catching up for us. So we have to think through. We have to think through the strategies. We have to think through that what else we need to do pretty quickly, urgently, so that we exist in this world of AI. We start contributing towards it. Okay, that is utmost important. From Viti Research Foundation, we are doing our bit, not only in terms of training and education, but we are establishing AI innovation hubs in universities and institutions. We are helping them. We call it IEEE, Artificial Intelligence and Emerging Technology Hubs. We focus on 4 technologies. We help them in designing these labs, where industrial projects can be brought to the institutions. Our faculty can be developed and kept up to speed. This technology is changing very fast, so we have to keep them up to speed. The students are motivated and moved into AI space much more together, and their hands are made dirty. They can do live projects, either on pattern recognition, computer vision, predictive analytics, whatever in AI technology world, and become up to the speed. Okay, so they can establish startups, or they can invest into this space, or start working and bring India up to speed into these technologies. Okay, so we are doing our bit, working with universities and institutions and establishing AIET innovation hubs into it, which has got AI, your high performance computing labs with mixed reality or extended reality platforms, IoT, and your blockchain, etc., to be brought inside it, and mixed reality platforms. This is what we are doing, helping industry and academia and government to move towards that direction. Maximum investment happening in AI today is more into the IT industry, but every other industry is investing into it. Okay, and it is becoming larger day by day. We are working with multiple companies, and their focus on AI is very, very acute, guys. Let me tell you this way. Okay, it is all around you. Every industry, be it manufacturing, be it renewable energy, be it IT industry, or constructions, NHI, or highways, retail, everywhere AI is. In housing, everywhere AI is there. Okay. So these are some of the problem sets industries are working upon. If you look from automotive, manufacturing, finance, agriculture, energy, etc., real-time optimization, strategic optimization, predictive analytics, predictive maintenance, radical personalization, forecasting, process on structured data. This is where they are more. I have taken a graph probably which is 1.5 to 2 years old. Some of the greens would have shifted. Some of the greens would have become much more darker, where the particular, like telecom, is using more real-time optimization for 5G layout. So this will be the impact and potential is very, very high into these industries. Okay, I'll not delve onto this. This is more that wherever, if you look at this slide of mine, wherever you will find the impact is more, okay, and data richness is available, those use cases AI is being implemented. Okay, so if you have got a ROI is there and the data is available, AI is being implemented. Okay, where there is not, a data acquisition strategy is being implemented today. This is how the industry is approaching this problem. So we are looking at a hyper competitive digital enterprise now. The jobs which you have been looking at in IT industry in 2017, those jobs have gone south, guys. Okay, so we used to hire around 2,49,000 people in 2017 odd, freshers from different engineering colleges across India. Okay, that hiring has come down to 150, 140 lakhs by last year. Okay, and it is so hiring has gone down. Less and less people are required because industry is becoming more and more automated. We are looking at a hyper competitive digital enterprise. From training, from programming, AI is the training world. We train AI. Okay, from Moore's law, things are moving towards more new physics. Okay, we need to be aware. From data lakes, Data has become pervasive. It is everywhere now. And the world is moving from imperative, where we used to have cause and then we used to analyze it, to declarative world. We are now predicting what is going to happen. Okay, from scarce to a pervasive memory. Okay, your mobile devices itself has more than 8 GB RAM area. Okay, we are talking in TVs. We are actually acquiring devices now which have got terabytes of information on SSDs. Right. From hindsight, the world in this industry is moving towards foresight. We can predict things early and tackle it. From general purpose, we are developing softwares which are built for purpose. Very specific needs are being addressed by AI. From being central authority, the world is becoming more distributed due to AI, okay, which is more fair and just world, guys. Okay, from proprietary, it is more becoming open systems world. From data burden, data is becoming an opportunity. So if you don't have an AI strategy, you are going to die in the world that is coming. That was David Wang, CEO of eBay. And that's absolutely right, guys. If you don't have any strategy on AI, either you are an institution or you are industry or you are a government, you're going to die. Okay, so every industry, government, academia, they are adopting AI and they are taking a step ahead. We need to be aware of that. So what kind of job? This is the question generally a lot of people ask me. So what kind of jobs will be available to human beings? Let me tell you the way I look at it. The jobs which are more creative and strategic in nature, where there is a human compassion needed, those jobs will be still available to humans. But the jobs which can be optimized and doesn't need compassion or human compassion, they will be gone. Okay, so the last quadrant, jobs like truck driver, hematologist, dishwasher, telesales, radiologist, these jobs will not exist to human beings anymore. Or on the creative strategy side, jobs of economists, research analysts will be gone. Scientists and artists will be still there. A job of a CEO or a merger and acquisition expert will be still there. Okay, so if you look at from that, these are jobs gone. Some of this here will be gone, but the jobs like elderly companion, which needs a lot of compassion, people who support elderly people, they will be still there. Okay, this is how the world will be. Where there's a lot of creativity and strategy needed, humans will leverage AI. But where the creativity and strategy goes down, AI will take over. Where optimization and compassion not needed, completely AI will take over. Where there is still compassion needed, when can be optimized, AI will play a bigger role, but human layer will be still there. Where there is a creativity and strategy needed and compassion both is needed, those, the upper right-hand corner quadrant, the human plus AI, human will be still there and they will be leveraging AI. They will be augmented by AI. Jobs below 60K, all these red ones, they are at risk, guys. Waiters, cashiers, retail sales, personal care aides, customer service representatives, these jobs are going to be taken over by AI. But AI, jobs like physicians, surgeons, chief executive, dentists, those jobs will be still there with human beings. Okay, advisors, these will be there. So that is where we should focus our energies. We should be walking away from the menial jobs and taking humans away from that. So what do we need to do? Okay, what kind of jobs will be left out to humans? Where there is a high critical thinkers. Okay, so critical thinking is required. People who can push the envelope, think out of the box, those people will be required. People who are curious naturally, those kind of people will be there. And that is what we need to teach our students to become. Okay, critical thinkers, out of the box, thinking out of the box, be curious, continuously learning. Don't get easily, and we don't get easily overwhelmed, okay, with constraints and pressures, right? That is our human capability. Those jobs will be still there with us. So that is what we need to develop, these kind of skill set. So these are top 10 technologies. If you look at from the perspective, AI is the overwhelming one. Okay, edge computing, NLP is all part of the AI world. Automation is again part of the AI world. Okay, extended reality and AI is merging in. Facial recognition is AI. So AI is the overwhelming world, which is actually, if you look at from predictive, prescriptive analytics to all, this is all AI. More of it AI. That is what the top trends are. Okay. So before I go ahead, let me take you to this. If you look at from this, US is making $3 trillion investment into AI, NLP, machine learning applications, computer vision, technology platforms. They want to develop AI. And look at the statement from Putin. He was very, very clear when he said, let me try to move this guy a little to the right. Artificial intelligence is the future, not only for Russia, but for all humankind. It comes with colossal opportunities, but also threats that are difficult to predict. Whoever becomes the leader in the sphere will become the ruler of the world. Ruler of the world. Look at his words. They are very, very clear. They are developing this technology to rule the world. We should be cognizant of this. We should be aware of it. We should ensure that the technology or artificial superintelligence makes a soft landing. We equate into this technology set. We should be working more toward this IP. And interestingly, if you look at in AI research, China has surpassed US already, okay, in publishing in AI research. We are nowhere. Our institutions are zero, okay. Our faculties, they are not working towards it. We should be aware and we should ensure that they are working towards it, okay. That is where the institutions will survive for. AI global deals here, if you look at the maximum deals here out of the whole AI is happening in Northern America. There, you go to this website, Partnership on AI, companies like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, IBM, Facebook, all have met hands. And they call it, they have adopted a strategy, they call it AI first strategy. Hum jo bhi karenge, AI se karenge. Okay? They are sharing IPs together and developing new set of technologies. It's a new emerging world order we are looking at, guys. We need to be party to it. You can go to this website on Partnership on AI. And it is not minute, guys. Look at Apple. You know, the Apple revenue is larger than the 17th country in this world. Dunia ke 17वां देश revenue size में उससे ज़्यादा पैसा कमाती है Apple. Okay? So you can well imagine the kind of a power I'm talking about, the corporate power I'm talking about. So what we are doing, I believe with all this, India is at a cusp of century's biggest opportunity. We have got 3.5 million IT people. We have got more than 3,500 institutions which are producing engineers and top technologists. We are contributing to that. Okay, in GDP we have reached 3 trillion, right? Per capita we have reached 1,963. Okay, we have got 5.6 million kilometer roads now. Okay, food grain production has gone up. So we have caught up the world. And with this manpower and the institutions, technical institutions which we do have, we can actually take a lead role. We can actually become a Vishwaguru. Okay, so we can look at this opportunity and we can catch this is the century's biggest opportunity. We need to ensure the kind of infrastructure, the government funding, the policies, all are defined to academics. They need to move into this direction. Industry should support. That is where we need to work upon. That is the conjunction we need to ensure. So I told you that what we are doing, we are establishing this AI innovation hub in different institutions. And we have got also AI, this we treat it as delivery centers. We are taking AI project delivery directly to institutions. So we get projects, we are taking the projects to institution, whatever their technology expertise are, how many students and faculties who are trained upon it, and we help them deliver these projects to the industry. Industry, currently in India, if you look at industry, doesn't put their money into institutions or universities because institutions and universities more is like a black box. Okay, their focus is not in delivering things. That is where we, as an IT professional, we are helping them. We are establishing our own AI innovation exchanges in tier 1 and tier 2 cities. So we have got in Delhi and Bombay at this point of time. And we interact with industry and bring these projects, which we distribute to the institutions in AI innovation hubs. This is what we are doing in AI Innovation Hub. This works as a center of excellence. We are providing an integrated infrastructure and network security, important for project deliveries. We are establishing IoT lab, high performance computing lab, helping them in establishing their incubation center for startups. We are also bringing in VLSI. So we have partnered with a few firms to bring in VLSI design, specifically the AI chips or neuromorphic chips designed to these institutions and universities. Okay, we have designed courses across from academia, business to academia, business to business, business to community, and business to government. From skill development, we are working on the higher education. We have gone into the K-12 now. For the schools also, we are helping, working with CBSE into that. So on training and education, project-based learning, domain-focused AI, projects and products, we are working on that. We are delivering projects and also supporting research, bringing industry pain points to institutions for faculties and researchers to work upon industry pain points. A lot of projects, some of the projects in healthcare, finance, technology, aviation, public welfare, agriculture, freight and logistics, we are working towards. Okay, on education also, on edutech also, we are bringing AI. We are actually developing a platform, we call it Sarthik. This particular platform, we say it will make learning more pleasurable. We are working towards it. And we have done the first 2 levels. We have gone to the 3rd level in developing this kind of platform, make it available to institutions, universities, and all, to our students, okay, globally. We have established AI community hurdle, industry leadership roundtable, a group of vice chancellors also, where we are working with academia. We have got groups, and I will invite you guys to come and join me on LinkedIn and Facebook, AI for Humanity. That will be wonderful. And we help them understanding AI much more. We are for women. We have established a group. We call it Women of AI on Facebook and LinkedIn. You can join with us there. You can always interact with us at our website, withiai.com. We are there, guys, on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere we are. Please join us. Come, help us to take it to the next level. Thank you, gentlemen, for hearing me out. Thanks a lot. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Dr. Kundanalal. It was a very insightful session. We do have few questions from audience. I think Yogendra, if you can pop out few questions from the audience, then I have my question as well.
So
Yogendra.
yeah. So participants, if you have any query, you can put your questions in Q&A session, Q&A box. And in the meanwhile, other participants put their questions. We have one query, sir. Do we have any government protocols for AI development? Specifically, if we look for the perspective of Indian perspective, so are there any rules and regulations for ASI in Indian perspective?
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. The question is participant, he want to ask that do we have any rules and regulation from the government authority to design AI application for the human or the citizen of the India or citizen of any country, so it can reduce the harm of the AI things and all.
So currently it is not. Okay, policies will be coming in soon. I mean, as the technology becomes more mature, obviously that will be a concern for good AI and bad AI. But currently there is no policy which I am aware of. Indian government, though we are working with few state governments to see that they also adopt this and develop the AI policy pretty quick.
I would like to add a few facts with this question, that lots of MNCs like IBM and Google and Microsoft, they have good AI to develop the application with their design thinking framework. Jitendra, if you can go to the IBM websites or Google design thinking website, where you can find the AI, good AI framework application development, you can find few certain policies where you can actually follow the principles to protect the user's data and create such artificial intelligence bots or applications in same way. But yes, as speakers told us that we don't have any government policies right now with us.
So let us try to understand it. What you are talking about AI policy is more for data security and all. Okay, AI is at this point of time is a machine learning word. Okay, that concern of a good AI is not there. But the biasness, when you teach AI with certain data set, if you are not cleaning the data set, we are talking about certain biases. Okay, that is where the concerns are. Like, let me give you an example. If you fly to US on the transport security in US airports, okay, there is an AI which actually your data gets uploaded when you are flying to US circuit. Either you are flying from Amsterdam or Milan to US circuit, or from India directly to your data gets uploaded to this AI. And it is considered that AI is considered to be biased, where if you are brown, you are a single guy, a black, or an Indian, or a guy from Pakistan. If you've got a Muslim name, it generally raises a flag. I actually faced that scenario. And if you are not a loyal customer like Delta and all, if you are not a regular flyer, it also raises a concern for you in certain age group. You may be a threat to the country. Okay, and this data which it has been trained upon is considered to be more biased data side. So you'll always hear when Shahrukh Khan flies to US, he's generally detained by the customs and interrogated for an hour before they let him go as a superstar to go inside the country, right? So this is a biased data. That is a concern, okay? But not the good AI. Okay? There is nothing like a good AI at this point of time because we haven't reached to that point of inflection or AGI. But obviously, as we move and technology matures from ANI to AGI, these concerns will start governing us more and more. Okay, the definitions will start governing us more and more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We have one more question from another participant. The question is, how can individual student, not as a group of undergrad level students, be part of your trainings, or how they can attend your trainings and learnings from your institute?
So see, we don't call ourselves institute, but we do have programs from short-term programs, from 16 hours program, which actually adds to your curriculum. The way we looked at that, how do we make people more job ready, okay, more industry ready? So we have developed this 16 hours program, which is available, around 18 of them, from AI and design thinking, which we do with World University of Design, a joint certification program, to a lot of others on blockchain, now humanoids, deep learning platforms. So students can make much more informed decision what area they need to walk into on machine learning and all. Those programs are there. And then we have got a mid-level program which is more targeted towards IT professionals who already know programming and they need to move towards AI world, AI and data analytics world. So we have got 30 hours, 30 to 40 to 50 hours intensive program. And then we have got job-oriented programs like artificial intelligence, master analyst or project-based learning. So people who have learned already these algorithms, data analytics, but they don't know how to do or deliver a project. We take them through 6 projects on pattern recognition, vision recognition, predictive analytics, and make them industry ready. So they can face interviews and they can actually can get hired at a higher value level, okay, a higher salary level. That is where we are ensuring this PBL. We provide them internship certificate also to them. Okay, so if your student need internship, we do have another program for third year student, which we call it a 40 days program. That is where we get a project done by them in a group, okay, and also provide them an internship certificate so they can talk intelligently and understand and